Welcome back to the Weber Cup. History has already been made here in Barnsley. Before the break, we saw Tommy Jones score a perfect game, making it 2 300 matches back-to-back for the Americans. They really are setting the pace here as they make a bid to defend their title. Let's bring you confirmation of the results so far, and those 2 perfect games have given Team USA the lead 2-1. Coming up next, it's a singles clash between Mike Fagan and Martin Larsen. Before the event got underway, we caught up with the Swede, who returns to the Weber Cup after he was part of the winning team back in 2009.
I think my biggest accomplishment is the 2 golds in the World Championships, the team 2003 and the doubles 06. And by far the most fun thing I have in a bowling lane was 2009 here at the Barnsley Metrodome. It was just something spectacular to bowl the Weber Cup. You can't compare it to anything else. To be able to compete as a team for Europe, it's a big thing. It's an honor. We have a really good team. Of course, the US guys are good too, and they come in with 2 last year's victory. So, of course, they think they're going to walk away with this one too. But we want something else. We're going to stop them for sure. For me personally, it would be a really good thing to be able to come in and help and be 100% champ in the Ryder Cup. So, yeah, that's what we're going to try to do.
So here we go, singles matchup number 3. Mike Fagan against Martin Larsen here, the 3rd singles match in the opening session of Weber Cup 14. The United States lead 2-1. Mike Fagan up first here. Got a lot to live up to, just a bit.
He is the king of swing. Very, very high back swing. Great follow through.
And another strike. That'll be 25 in a row now for the United States.
Andy, I'm glad you're keeping count. Mike Fagan lays the ball down. Just gets a little bit outside. Gets a great reaction in the back end, because that last part of the lane is very, very dry, and the friction between the ball and the lane and the rotation on that ball makes it hook up into the pocket and drive through.
There comes Larsen with his benchmark ball on fresh oil. No bother.
It kind of gets to the stage where perhaps we shouldn't speak very much and just talk about spares if they happen to arrive, but at the moment it's strikes galore on this, as I say, freshly dressed lane. Larsen just a little bit light in the pocket, carries all 10. Certainly getting a good, everybody's getting good pin action in the back end, even if it's a light hit on the head pin. Fagan for 2 in a row. Well,
nowhere near. The run had to come to an end sooner or later.
Oh well, thank goodness it did. We've got something to talk about. Mike Fagan's left a little spare on the right hand side. It's the 6, 9 and a 10 off of a ball that comes up high, straight through the face of the number 1 pin. Nowhere near the pocket, but it's a straightforward spare, hard and straight. And there you go. That's called a spare. You don't see very many of them, or we haven't done in this particular tournament, but let's just keep an eye out for 1 or 2 that must be coming.
Maximum score for the United States thus drops to 280. We're not going to see another 300 in this match.
Well, if they share it around, I mean, I guess the European player could have 300 in the shape of Martin Larsen, but I'm not going to bet on it.
Just going to say from an American player. Just thought I'd slip that in because it's still a possibility for Europe. That's 2 out of 2 strike-wise for Martin Larsen.
Yes, and there we saw a shot of the domination team that are supporting Team Europe. This is a much better looking shot from Larsen. 10 pins last to go, but it carries, and he's very happy. And the team domination there, I don't know if you can see on their shirts, keep calm and spank the Yanks, it's saying, which is a bit outrageous, but there's 24 of them sitting there with shirts all identical.
Fagan again, and yeah, he's left another spare.
Slightly high on the hairpin, leaves a 4-pin standing this time. It's funny, you know, some bowlers that really get on a run of strikes, all of a sudden they'll leave a single pin and they think, my God, I've got to bowl somewhere else apart from the 1-3 pocket. I've got to hit a single pin this time. Covers it nicely, but his score drops yet again, 269 maximum.
Interesting interview just prior to bowling here against Larsen from Fagan. Just looked a touch overawed, I might contend, with the kind of company he's keeping. With the 300 perfects from Barnes and Jones, anything less becomes a problem, I dare say, in a team event like this, when the bar has been set so high. Players either respond or there's the temptation to crumble. We're not going to see a perfect from Europe here.
Yeah, slightly tighter shot. Slightly left of his mark that time from Martin Larsen. It held line on the oil, but it was just that fraction high on the headpin. All the multicoloured balls out in this tournament. Each player brings approximately 6 to 8 bowling balls with them. Some even more when they tour in the United States. They've got lots of excess baggage in the shape of a couple of dozen bowling balls.
So 10 pins in it, a maximum of 279 for Larsen in Europe, 269 for Fagan in the US. I suppose in a sense normal service resumed here.
Let's just wait and see. Oh, trip those 2 pins there. Well, Mike Fagan's gone high in the headpin. It's left the 4-pin standing with the 10-pin. To all intents and purposes, a big split, but some flying wood from somewhere has hit them both and they've gone over. Now just watch this one. High on the headpin. There's the 4, there's the 10, and over they both go. Look at that. Nudged from behind. Very delicate.
Oof. 10 pin left standing.
Well, yeah, that's the pin that normally stands up. If it's not going to go for the right-hander who hits the pocket with an all-in to intensive purposes a great-looking shot, it's that corner pin that stands up. Didn't quite make the pocket, leaves the flat 10. And the Euro captain, well, he's happy with the spare, but it's not what they need. Just the 1-pin difference now, and it's 268 for the Europeans if they can strike out.
Frame 5 and a 3rd strike for Mike Fagan.
Importantly, yes, it's the first double of the match. So he retains his lead. Yes, it would be an interesting conversation to listen into, Jones and Barnes. They may well be criticising Fagan for not having a 300 or not being on a 300. But yeah, they could certainly talk about the next one perhaps. Koivuniemi, best of pals with Chris Barnes, just adding his comments. And there we saw the 6-pin just laying in front of the 10. Not quite enough drive to kick it out.
Same as his last throw. Last frame, I should say.
Yeah, it just needs maybe a little bit more momentum as it gets to the pocket, a little more drive, a bit more rotation, just to get those pins jumping. Mind, they have been jumping so far in the tournament, but unfortunately it's a 10-pin again that Larsen's got a spare. And there's the situation at the halfway stage.
United States just with their noses ahead.